Like most British people, I've become inured to the fact that our trains are overpriced, underfunded, overcrowded, dirty and slow. We moan about them, of course. God, how we moan about them. But we don't actually expect anyone to do anything about them. In our grim, masochistic way, I think perhaps we feel it's all we deserve. That the French, because they have esprit and élan and éclat and éclairs, are allowed a fast, efficient rail service, but we're not. We have to struggle on with our knackered, mismanaged system that somehow manages to combine all that is worst about both nationalisation and privatisation, while successive governments treat it like an inconvenient elderly relative who won't do the decent thing and die, preferring, despite all the obvious environmental advantages of trains over cars, to prostrate themselves before the road lobby and provide drivers with even vaster expanses of tarmac at the taxpayers' expense on which to exercise their illusion of unsupported independence, as if their Mondeo would get them 20 feet across a ploughed field. As I say, I'm used to that, and I'm used to the mad system under which the companies that run the railways, though profit-making private businesses, nonetheless expect and require the state to plug the gaps they can't be bothered to fill themselves with tax revenues. I barely even notice anymore that the expensive and unprofitable business of maintaining and replacing the crumbling infrastructure is done by the state, whereas the lucrative business of charging a passenger a three-figure price for having the temerity to decide on your destination on the same day you wish to travel is done by a range of sharkish private enterprises, rather as if an airline, having filled a flight with paying passengers, then expected the government to supply them with extra buoyant air. I even managed to ignore the obnoxious absurdities that result from this, when companies which are in fact local monopolies pretend they're options in a free market and employ marketing departments, using money they could be spending on, I don't know, cleaning the carriages, to come up with slogans to put on the coffee cups, as if I'm expected to associate the excellence of their coffee with the speed and efficiency with which they're proposing to take me to Cirencester, as if, indeed, the reason I chose to travel to Cirencester in the first place has anything to do with either the excellence of the coffee or the persuasiveness of the slogan, as if, had another company caught my eye at the station with a richer coffee or a snappier slogan, I'd have abandoned my friends in Cirencester and sped off to Dundee for the sheer joy of a zippy tagline and a Colombian bean well crushed. All of this, as I say, doesn't get me angry at all anymore. But the last straw, the absolute last straw, is... We'd like to apologise for the delayed arrival of David Mitchell's last straw. Due to engineering works, this rant will now be temporarily suspended. Customers wishing to discover the nature of the last straw are advised to rejoin the service in 7 days' time by making use of the space-time continuum provided. Please do not wait in the waiting room. Thank you.